can we just get a round of applause for Tim Miller, who has successfully, in one article, managed to destroy any sort of hope or excitement that I had for Terminator Dark Fate. So, well done on that, Tim Miller. Well done on that. So, Tim Miller, who is the director of Terminator Dark Fate, who happens to also be the director of Deadpool, has some very interesting things to say in this article about the movie, and we're going to be getting into that right now. As you can tell from the headline, this is going to be a very juicy article. Tim Miller says Terminator Dark Fate will scare the F out of misogynistic internet trolls. Ooh, okay, so, yeah, and let me just say right now that I was actually someone that was kind of interested in this movie. I was kind of excited about it. I actually enjoyed the trailer for it. And I didn't really have a problem with it. I didn't really have a problem with the fact that there was, that the movie was led by women. I didn't have a problem with that at all. But what Tim Miller says in this article completely destroyed all of that in one fell swoop. So, good job on that, Tim Miller. So, let's go ahead and get into the article here. Major movie franchises such as Ghostbusters and Star Wars have been targeted by misogynistic internet trolls in recent years for prominently featuring female characters in leading roles. I love how they just completely just make up their narrative here to paint a certain picture. So, they completely write their own narrative. The reason that they're saying here that people didn't like Ghostbusters and Star Wars was automatically because it prominently featured female characters in leading roles. Okay, but we also had Alita come out this year, and Alita was widely praised, widely loved by general audiences. And then we had Wonder Woman come out a few years ago, and that was widely praised and widely loved as well. So, what exactly is the actual issue here? Because it appears that is not the case, that is not what the actual issue is. So what is the actual issue then, IndieWire? Oh, that's right. It's because the characters are terribly written, the story is pathetic, and you are forcing identity politics into your movies. That is the problem. That is what Wonder Woman didn't do, and that is what Alita didn't do, and that is why people love those movies, because Hollywood kept identity politics out of those movies. They didn't force feed agendas onto their audiences. They didn't tell audiences that they were misogynist, that they didn't love the movie. They didn't do any of that type of crap. So we're going to continue on here with Tim Miller's quote here. If you're at all enlightened, she'll play like gangbusters. And I love how Hollywood continues to attack their audiences. They continue to treat like the people that go see their movies are either enlightened individuals who have embraced the Hollywood way, have embraced the leftist way, have embraced the new way of the world, or they are just terrible degenerates who are still living in the past, still liking good stories and characters. Who wants to like good stories? You're supposed to just be brainless robots, pretty much, that just feed into everything that Hollywood is giving you. Resistance. Hollywood does not like resistance. So, you're either a degenerate or you're enlightened. So what are you? Are you a degenerate or are you enlightened? Are you a dinosaur, as you are also well known as well, according to some people out there? Or are you an enlightened individual? So, if you're at all enlightened, she'll play like gangbusters. If you're a closet misogynist, she'll scare the F out of you because she's tough and strong, but very feminine. So, oh my gosh. So, if you have any criticisms about this movie at all, you are a misogynist. You are automatically a misogynist. And this is what Hollywood is continuing to push with their movies. If you do not accept the way that Hollywood is making their movies, if you do not accept the agendas that they're pushing to their movies, if you do not accept any of that type of nonsense, then you are a racist or a bigot or a misogynist, and this just feeds into the whole SJW mentality in general. We did not trade certain gender traits for others. She's just very strong, and that frightened some dudes. You can see online the responses to some of the early stuff that's out there, trolls on the internet. I don't give an F. So, okay, but Alita, on the other hand, was also very strong. She completely destroyed everybody. She kicked everyone's ass in that movie. And I can guarantee you right now that Alita could probably completely destroy Grace if she wanted to as well. Grace is the cyborg character that is going to be in Terminator Dark Fate. This person right here. And I can guarantee you that Alita would absolutely destroy this person. But does that mean that I mean that completely just destroys this entire argument? She's just very strong, and that frightens some dudes. Okay, but I'm not frightened by Alita being a strong character. So that obviously is not the problem. So what is the problem here? What is the actual problem here? Well, we all know what the actual problem is here, except these people want to continue to pretend like it is something that it isn't. They want to continue to paint a certain narrative type, and that is exactly what Hollywood continues to do. That is exactly what articles and websites like IndieWire continue to do. So you're a troll. You're basically just a misogynistic troll if you have any sort of criticisms at all about this movie. Let's see here. I think he has one more quote in here as well. Dark Fate marks Davis's first leading role in a major studio action movie after having small supporting roles in Denis Villeneuve's Blade Runner 2049 and Ridley Scott's The Martian. Miller said that Davis's character Grace plays the protector role in Dark Fate, similar to Kyle Reese in the original film. The main difference is that unlike Kyle, Grace is also a cyborg. Which, in isolation, that all sounds fine to me. I don't have a problem with that. It's a painful life, and they're scarred and take a lot of drugs to combat the pain of what's been done to them. They don't live a long time. Miller said of the character, it's a very sacrificial role. They risk death to save others, and from the very first suggestion, it was always a woman. We had to look for someone who has the physicality, but I'm very sensitive to actors. I didn't just want a woman who could physically fit the role, but emotionally as well. Mackenzie really wanted to do it. She came after the role. She worked harder than anybody. So, from the very beginning, it was all about gender to these people. Which automatically makes it a very sexist movie. If you are focused on the gender or whatever of the character first and foremost, and saying that is what you are looking for first and foremost for a role, then that is in itself sexism. So we had to look for someone who is, let's see here, and from the very first suggestion, it was always a woman. So, from the very beginning, this movie was planning to go woke. This movie was planning to feed into identity politics and all of that nonsense. And they're already following with the Ghostbusters, the way of Ghostbusters and the way of Star Wars, where they are going to force their identity politics into the movie, and if you have a problem with that, then you are a misogynist, you are a troll, you are a racist, you are a bigot, you are a Nazi, you are all of that type of stuff. So they are literally just following the blueprint of movies like Ghostbusters and Star Wars and Captain Marvel. And this movie is not going to do well because of that. And I really hope that this movie flops. And I really hope that this movie suffers. So, with that being said, let me know in the comments below, what do you think about this article? What do you think about the comments of Tim Miller, you degenerate misogynists out there? So, with that being said, and hey, maybe you don't have a problem with it. Maybe you're still going to go see the movie. That's totally cool. I am not going to make fun of you or call you names because of that, because that is totally in your right. So with that being said, let me know in the comments below what you think about this movie, what do you think about this article, and let me know in the comments below, and I'll talk to you all very soon in another video. Talk to you later. Bye.